Hello, I'm the engine inspector, and remember, what happens in the Fat Controller's office stays in the Fat Controller's office. Shh. Ah, Edward the Blue Engine. The first character introduced in the Railway series and a key character of the television series, Edward should, in theory, have earned a lot of respect by both writers and fans over the years. Oh, but we have had no such luck. Poor Edward had his personality completely altered over the course of the years. It started with a minor hiccup in Season 6.
He doesn't even look like an engine, said Edward.
But it really spiraled out of control from there. Today we'll be looking at what many consider to be Edward's darkest moment. This is Edward Strikes Out.
Edward strikes out. All the engines of Sodor are very happy to work on the Fat Controller's railway. Edward has worked on the railway the longest.
At least I got one thing right about Edward. Don't get used to it.
One summer morning, Edward arrived at the docks. He had to pick up some heavy pipes. Gordon and Thomas were already there. Thomas was very excited. A new crane had just arrived on the island. He looks so strong, puffed Thomas. I'm sure he could even lift you up, Gordon, he chuckled.
Is that a fat joke?
That crane might be big, Gordon sniffed, but he has no engine. He can't move unless another engine pulls him. Edward looked at the crane. Gordon was right. Then I don't think he can be really useful, chuffed Edward slowly.
What? What did Edward just say? Since when did Edward become a judgmental jerk?
Quite right, Edward, huffed Gordon. He will only get in the way. Just then, Percy arrived. He was also very excited to see the new crane. He's not very useful, boomed Gordon.
Come on, Edward! Why are you acting like this? Speaking of personality changes, this is right about when Percy started acting like a huge idiot too.
What a newfangled nuisance, Edward, peeped Percy. Newfangled nonsense, Percy, puffed Edward as grandly as he could. It's something that is new and not really useful. Edward's trucks were right by the new crane. My name's Rocky, the crane smiled at Edward. I'm Edward, puffed Edward. Can I come with you? Asked Rocky. I could help you with those heavy pipes. I don't need your help, sniffed Edward. Newfangled nonsense.
So, let me get this straight. Edward isn't even talking about Rocky badly behind his back. He's doing it right to his face? What gives him the right to act like such a jerk?
Thinking about Rocky, and he was going too fast. Suddenly, the signal changed to red. Edward screeched to a stop, but the sides of the trucks collapsed. Steel pipes toppled all over the tracks. Bust my buffers, puffed Edward.
Whoa! Sir Topham Hatt really needs to invest in some sturdier trucks. I mean, Edward wasn't even going that fast, and he didn't stop that suddenly. What a cheapskate!
He looked at the heavy pipes and wondered what to do. Thomas had said Rocky was very strong. Newfangled nonsense, huffed Edward, and he asked his driver to telephone for Harvey. Harvey puffed and chuffed as fast as he could to the rescue. Harvey started to move the pipes, but the pipes were heavy. He could only lift them one by one.
What are those pipes made of if Harvey can only lift them one at a time? We've seen him lift Percy all by himself. Surely a couple of pipes wouldn't be a problem.
Just then, Thomas and Emily arrived. They saw the pipes. We have to get through, tooted Thomas. Why don't you go and get Rocky? No, whistled Edward. Harvey is doing a fine job. We must be patient. I don't like being patient, pouted Emily.
Oh, look, another character whose personality completely changed overnight.
Gordon, he was going fast. Then there was trouble. Gordon hit the pipes with a loud crunch. He came off the tracks. It was a terrible mess. I can't lift Gordon, sighed Harvey. He's too heavy.
Apparently those pipes were too heavy too. And another thing, why is Gordon just running light engine down the main line?
It isn't wrong, chuckled Henry, but we just don't do it.
We need Rocky, tooted Thomas. Gordon sniffed. Newfangled...
Well, it looks like Edward's terrible attitude about everything just screwed over 3 engines. What an unbelievably selfish decision.
There was only one thing to do. I'll go and get Rocky, Edward wished, and he raced off. Edward steamed into the docks. Rocky, we need your help, he whistled. It's an emergency. I'm ready and waiting, Edward, whistled Rocky happily.
Since when does Rocky have a whistle? It must be part of his telepathic powers! That's so Rocky!
So Edward buffered up to Rocky, and together they left for the junction.
Yikes! That hill is really steep. It looks like someone dropped Sodor on its side.
Everyone cheered and waved at them.
Why would everyone cheer? How do they know what they're doing? That's so Rocky. Oh, that makes sense now.
Edward soon pulled up with Rocky. I can fix this, Rocky smiled. And with his mighty crane arm, Rocky lifted Gordon back onto the track.
That shot could not have been longer if they lowered Gordon from the sky.
He huffed. Good work! Then, Rocky lifted all the pipes off the rails. The job was done in no time. Gordon and Edward were very impressed. I was silly to think you were a newfangled nonsense, wished Edward to Rocky.
No steam, Sherlock!
You might be new, but you're also really useful. Welcome to our island. And everyone tooted and cheered for Rocky.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. How can you take a strong, brave, respected character like Edward and turn him into... well, what we just saw? It's...
Disgraceful, said Gordon. Disgusting, put in James. Despicable, finished Henry.
what they said. Writers need to have at least an ounce of respect of the characters they're writing for. Stuff like this is just awful. Audrey is probably turning over in his grave again. It just drives me nuts that an admirable character like Edward gets treated so poorly. Well, at least none of my personal favorite characters were messed up by hits.
I'm the bravest engine in all the world, he called. But Scar Lowy was too heavy, and the winch broke. Whee! Puffed Scar Lowy as he raced down the hill.